Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Royal Rumble results, as well as the pre-show. On the pre-show, the first match is Chad Gable and Bobby Roode versus Rezar and Scott Dawson. Most of it was on Facebook Watch. I didn't get to see this match because I was at work. I did get to catch the first part of the thing on Facebook while I was at work. And they gave me a link to the pre-show, in other words, which started off with R-Truth on the show. Took him like 20 minutes to even appear, but he didn't do any typing. What have you. But anyway, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode versus Rezar and Scott Dawson. This was added to the show. And we got Michael Cole welcomes us to the ringside. Joining him are Corey Graves, Renee Young. Out first going Raw Tag Team Champion Chad Gable, Bobby Roode for the non-title match. Mike Rome does the introductions. Out next comes Rezar with the 205 Live manager, Drake Maverick, as his tag team partner is injured. Scott Dawson is his tag team partner for this match, but he was out by himself. Roode and Dawson started off the match. Dawson dropped Roode with a shoulder. Gable tagged in. Roode fights back. They double team Dawson in the corner. Gable catapults Dawson out of the corner for a 2 count. Gable worked on the arm. Dawson fights back, but Gable rolls up for a 2 count. Dawson with a 2 count. More back and forth pin attempts between the two. Gable with a crossbody from the corner for a 2 count. Roode ducks a cheap shot on the apron from Dawson. Dawson takes Gable down and tags in Rezar. They double team Gable and Rezar chokeslams him. Rezar stands over Gable and yells out. Rezar clubs Gable with a forearm on the ropes. Dawson tags himself in. Rezar isn't happy. Dawson drops Gable, goes to work on him. Dawson with a suplex for a 2 count. As Gable fights up and out. Rezar tags in and breaks up Gable's pin attempt with a boot. Rezar pounds on Gable. Then Rezar gets a 2 count off of that. Rezar launches Gable into the turnbuckles as he goes back down. Dawson comes back in and nails a suplex for a 2 count as Drake cheers him on. Gable fights back, but they both go down. Roode and Rezar rally for tags. Rezar tags in and lifts Gable up for a chokeslam. Holding him in the air, Gable turns it into an arm bar on the ropes and the referee counts. Dawson tags back in to stop the tag, but Roode gets it. Roode unloads on Dawson now. Roode nails Rezar in the corner. Roode with a spine buster on Dawson as the fans pop. Dawson with a big shoulder to the gut in the corner. Roode with a blockbuster on Rezar. Dawson rolls Roode up for a close 2 count with a handful of tights. Dawson knees Roode. Rezar holds Roode, and Dawson goes up top. As Dawson misses a drop kick, misses and nails his partner. Roode and Gable send Rezar out to the floor. Dawson counters Roode for a 2 count. Gable tags in and goes to the top as Roode holds Dawson for the assisted blockbuster. And Gable covers for the win. After the match, Gable and Roode stand tall and celebrate with the titles as the music hits. U.S. title match was up next. I did see this one. Most of it. And I got to see the finish. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. We got a ringside. We got Tom Phillips welcomes us to the show. He's joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. Out first comes Shinsuke Nakamura. Greg Hamilton does the introductions. As U.S. champion, Rusev was out next with Lana. The bell rings and Nakamura charges, but Rusev takes him back to the corner. Rusev unloads and drops Nakamura with a 2 count. Rusev takes Nakamura back down and drops elbows for another pin attempt. Rusev works Nakamura around the ring. Rusev with a second suplex. Then clotheslines Nakamura over the top rope to the floor for a breather near Lana, who applauds her husband and walks around the corner. Nakamura drops Rusev on the floor with a kick. Nakamura places Rusev on the apron and delivers a high knee. Nakamura with a quick pin attempt. Nakamura with bad vibrations in the corner now. Nakamura places Rusev on the top turnbuckle and charges in with another knee for a 2 count. Nakamura controls until Rusev tosses him to the mat. Rusev with a big drop kick. And they trade big strikes in the middle of the ring. Rusev with a follow-away slam. Rusev charges and splashes in the corner. Rusev with a spin kick off the ropes and covers for another 2 count. Rusev sends Nakamura back out to the floor. Rusev runs the ropes for a suicide dive, but Nakamura meets him at the ropes with a kick to the head. They bring it back in, and Rusev avoids the kick. Rusev levels Nakamura with a kick of his own for a 2 count. Rusev shows frustration, then stomps on the back of Nakamura, but Nakamura still gets up. Nakamura sweeps Rusev and unloads and nailing him in the face for a close 2 count. Nakamura waits for Rusev to get up. He misses a Kinshasa and the Machka, but Rusev nails a big double axe handle. Rusev with a Machka kick. Rusev with a big side slam. Nakamura pulls Rusev into an armbar. Nakamura turns that into a triangle choke. Nakamura keeps the triangle locked in until Rusev starts to fade, like a sleeper hold. Rusev powers up, but is caught in a guillotine. Rusev powers out and hits a big suplex for a 2 count. More back and forth. Nakamura drops Rusev for another close 2 count. Lana gets on the apron. For distraction, while Nakamura is trying to expose the turnbuckle, she yells at him, at him. She calls him out to the referee. Nakamura yells in her face. Rusev charges, but Nakamura moves, and Rusev knocks Lana off the apron, lands on the floor badly with her ankle. Rusev yells for her to get up. Nakamura charges from the back to the knee to the head, and Nakamura covers for the pin to win the title back. After the match, Nakamura takes the title, celebrates as we go to replays. We go back to the panel for more discussion on the Rumble. We go backstage to Nikki Cross, who hypes her spot in the Rumble. Panel shows us highlights from Saturday's TakeOver Phoenix. And HBK talks about his role with the brand, and he gives them props. We also see post-TakeOver Brawl from last week, last night, as HBK reveals a halftime heat segment on next Sunday during the NFL Super Bowl with a big 6-man NXT match. And that will be taping this Wednesday on NXT. And Sean will be doing guest commentary. Fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight title was also on the pre-show. That was advertised. Kalisto versus Hideo Itami versus Akira Tozawa versus Buddy Murphy. We got a ringside, and by the way, yeah, this is a title match for this. We got a ringside. Out first comes Kalisto. Vic Joseph Aiden English is on the panel on the pre-show match, and he is now with the Cruiserweight division TV show, network show. And also Nigel McGuinness on commentary. Kalisto's out first. Kurosawa's the next. Tommy followed out last, accompanied by Area DeVary, but he heads to the back. And your champion, Buddy Murphy, is out next. Bell rings, and Tommy goes to the floor as the others go at it. Basically chasing, all 3 of them chasing him out. Murphy controls some until they go to the outside. Murphy ends up dropping Kalisto on his head to the floor. Tommy returns to the ring and motions for Murphy to come in and fight. Tommy gets the upper hand and drops Murphy in the corner. Tommy stops Tozawa from coming back in. Tommy tries to bring Kalisto in from the apron, but he resists. Murphy comes over and tries to powerbomb Kalisto to the floor. Tozawa runs the ropes and drops Murphy and Kalisto into the barrier with a dive, which Kalisto turned into the Hurricanrana on Murphy. Tommy watches from the ring. Tommy brings Kalisto and Tozawa in, keeping him down. Tommy with a 2 count of both of them. Tommy sends Murphy back to the floor as he goes back to work on the others. Tozawa leads out, taking out Murphy, and Kalisto rocks at Tommy. Kalisto springboards in with a senton. Kalisto with another twister off the ropes. Kalisto unloads in the corner and drops Tommy for a close 2 count. Murphy comes in and stops the Solido del Sol. Tozawa comes off the top with a missile drop kick to Murphy. Tozawa with more offense and a 2 count on Murphy. Tozawa gets to the top, but Tommy stops him. Tommy brings Tozawa down, but Tozawa spikes him into the mat face first. Tozawa runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive to Tommy. Kalisto also flies out. Murphy runs the ropes and leaps out. Taking all 3 opponents down, Kalisto spikes Murphy into the mat with a Hurricanrana for a 2 count, and then goes to the top for a move on Murphy, but Tommy stops him. Tommy gets kicked away, Murphy nails Callisto, nails a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count, as Torzal breaks up the pinfall. More back and forth now as Torzal drives Murphy into the mat, but Tommy tries to steal the pin. Callisto stops it, and they all trade pin attempts. Callisto with a little del Sol to Tommy for a close 2 count. All 4 superstars are down. They get up and all brawl. Murphy and Tommy are left standing. They trade shots in the middle of the ring now. Murphy with a big knee and an insecurity. Murphy drops Torzal. Callisto and Torzal drop Murphy. Callisto and Torzal go at it. Torzal drops Callisto with a kick. Murphy unloads on Torzal and hits a big jumping knee. Callisto also eats a jumping knee as he flies in. Tommy goes for the GTS on Murphy, but he slides out. Tommy with a back fist. Murphy slides out and nails the knee. Murphy lays Tommy out again, and then nails Murphy's all on Tommy in the middle of the ring for the pin and to retain his title. We got a backstage video from Drew McIntyre. Drew talks about he's dominating WWE and will continue to do that in the Rumble. Then they go on to WrestleMania to win the WWE Universal title. We go back to the panel, more discussion on the pay-per-view. That's it for the kickoff show. 2019 Rumble pay-per-view opens up with a video package live from the Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Tom Phillips welcomes us to the show. There's more than 40,000 fans here tonight. And Tom joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. SmackDown Women's title match starts off the show. Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Oh, due to Lana's injury, I was predicting, a replacement in the Rumble. Since her injury, probably, I guess, prediction, Becky Lynch. If she loses the match. We go right to the ring. Out comes Becky. To a pop. SmackDown Women's Champion was out next. Tom introduces Spanish and German and announces the team at ringside. They stare each other down as Greg Hamilton does the formal ring introductions. That's the females, not the announcers. Bell rings and then lock up. They break up. They break. Lock up again. Trade holds. Asuka fights out. Becky hits her with a shoulder. Asuka drop kicks Becky off the ropes and yells at Becky. Becky comes back and shoves her. Asuka swings with a back fist, but Becky ducks. They talk trash, run the ropes. Becky sidesteps a drop kick. Becky sends Asuka to the mat and tells her to fight. Asuka brings it, but Becky goes for the disarmer. Asuka blocked it. Becky with more strikes as Asuka fights back with kicks, taking her legs out. Asuka with a shot to the face and a quick pin attempt. Asuka toys with Becky now, kicking at her, but that just fires Becky up. Becky catches a kick and unloads with forearms. Becky drops Asuka as the fans were all into Becky, the man. Asuka goes for a breather but comes back in and Becky follows. Asuka knocks Becky off the apron with a hip attack. Becky ends up coming back and knocking Asuka to the floor from the apron. Asuka pulls Becky out as well. Works her over as the referee counts. Asuka rams Becky into the LED board at ringside. Becky sends Asuka into the barrier with an exploder. But Becky brings her back to the ring for a 2 count. Becky beats Asuka down in the corner with more offense and another 2 count. Becky works on the arm now. Asuka makes a comeback and ends up applying the Asuka lock. While on the ropes, the referee counts to 5 and the hold is broken. Asuka charges in the corner but misses and hits the ring post as Becky moves. Becky uses the turnbuckle to apply the disarmer from the top. She breaks it after the 5 count. Of course, there's no disqualification in the match. Of course, they haven't called it. Becky goes off the middle rope and Asuka catches her in the face with a knee on the way down. Becky comes back with a forearm, but Asuka just takes him. Becky sends Asuka to the corner, but she comes out of the corner with a drop kick and barely connects. Asuka with a hip attack in the corner while selling on arm injury. Asuka with a back fist and more offense. Asuka with a German suplex. Asuka with another hip attack for another 2 count. More back and forth between the two by Asuka as she got another 2 count. Asuka goes up top for a missile drop kick, but Becky moves. Becky then drives Asuka into the mat for a close 2 count for herself. Asuka rolls Becky into the armbar out of nowhere. Trying for Asuka lock, Becky makes it to the bottom rope. They trade shots on the apron. Asuka unloads with a quick strike to the back of the neck. But Asuka immediately nails a kick to the head for a close 2 count. They face each other on their knees, trading slaps in the middle of the ring. They fight to their feet, still trading strikes. Asuka unloads on Becky, but Becky tries for the disarmer again. Asuka levels Becky with a kick for another close 2 count. Becky slides out of a suplex. Becky with a springboard kick in the corner. Becky climbs up to Asuka on the top rope. Asuka rocks her and sends her back to the mat. Becky keeps fighting and climbs up. Becky hits a super exploder from the top, but Asuka kicks out at 2. Fan chat, this is awesome. Becky goes to the top for a leg drop, but Asuka moves. Asuka applies the Asuka lock. Asuka uses the disarmer on Becky for her own move. Move thief, just like the video game. Becky counters and uses an Asuka lock on Asuka. Move thief again. They break up, and Asuka levels Becky with a big kick to the back. Big kick to the head as Becky takes it and pulls Asuka into the disarmer. Asuka breaks free and rolls Becky up for a 2 count. Becky rolls Asuka up for a 2 count herself. Asuka with a nice takedown into the Asuka lock in the middle of the ring. Asuka bridges into the neck submission, and Becky taps out for the finish. After the match, Asuka slowly recovers. As the music plays, we go to replays. Asuka celebrates with Becky sitting up on the apron, looking disappointed. Becky makes her exit, and Asuka clutches the title. Becky looks at the back of the ring and nods while taking everything in. Asuka continues the celebration in the ring. We get a break, including a trailer for the Fighting With My Family. The Page Family movie. SmackDown Tag Team title match, Shane McMahon and The Miz versus Bar. Shane starts off with Sheamus. Shane immediately tackles Sheamus. Sheamus goes to the floor to regroup with Cesaro. Fans pop for Shane. Cesaro comes in now. Miz tags in. Miz rolls Cesaro up for a quick pin attempt and then another. Cesaro tosses Miz to the apron. Miz comes back with another pin attempt. Cesaro blocks Skull Crusher finale. They go to the corners and Miz taunts Cesaro, telling him to bring it. Cesaro goes to work on Miz, talking trash. Miz slides down and rolls Cesaro up. Miz goes for the figure 4, but it's blocked. Miz tries to fight off both opponents. Sheamus tags in and they unload on him in the corner. Shane runs into the make the save, but the referee backs him out. Of course, he's not an illegal man. Sheamus knocks Shane off the apron with a cheap shot. Shane fights Miz off, and Sheamus fights Miz off, and Cesaro ends up providing an assist. They clear the announce table and go to powerbomb through it, but Shane makes a save. Miz sends Sheamus into the ring post while Shane slams Cesaro's face into the apron. Now get this. This is the middle announce table. They place Cesaro on the announce table. Miz holds him while Shane goes to the top rope for the splash. But Sheamus makes a save, dropping Miz and sending him into the ring post as all the electronic devices have been removed from the table. Shane leaps from the top, taking Sheamus down on the floor. Cesaro drops Shane with a big uppercut, launching Shane into the barrier. Cesaro brings him back in to the ring and covers for Miz for a 2 count. Sheamus comes back in and keeps up the attack on Miz. Miz fights up and out. They trade suplex attempts. Sheamus with a forearm on the apron. Cesaro tags in and they bring Miz in with a double stomp. A double suplex. Cesaro with a close 2 count. Cesaro keeps Miz grounded. The Bar continues to dominate, keeping control of Miz. Miz fights back on Sheamus and hits a jawbreaker. Cesaro tags in and goes for Shane, but misses. Miz backdrops Cesaro. Shane finally gets the hot tag as Sheamus comes in. Sheamus misses the road kick. Shane unloads on him. Shane with a back elbow off the ropes. Shane dances around and drops Sheamus. Then Cesaro off the apron. Shane with a DDT to Sheamus on the floor. Shane stomps on Sheamus in the corner now. Cesaro tags himself in, but Shane drops him into Sheamus. Sheamus goes up top for what looks like to be a coast-to-coast on both opponents. Shane leaps, but Cesaro catches him and does a Cesaro swing in the middle of the ring for like 20 times. Shane tries to pull Cesaro into a triangle. Cesaro keeps him from finishing it. Cesaro powers up, and Shane stuck it to him. Shane brings Cesaro back to the mat as he starts fading. Sheamus leaps off the apron leaps off the top with a knee and breaks the submission. Miz runs in and boots Sheamus out. Miz follows and Sheamus clotheslines him on the floor. Sheamus tags in and scoops Shane. Cesaro comes off the top ropes with a double team white noise. Sheamus covers for Shane for a 2 count. Miz puts Cesaro in the way of a rope kick. Miz with a skull crushing finale on Sheamus. Shane goes up top and nails a shooting star press on Cesaro for the pin to win the titles. Winner and new tag team champions, Shane and The Miz. SmackDown. After the match, Miz and Shane start celebrating as Shane's music hits. Miz's dad, George, looks on from ringside. We go to replays. We come back to Shane and Miz celebrating with the titles. They go to ringside to raise arms with Miz's dad. Music hits and they head to the back with the belts. Back to the ring, Michael Cole, Slaw, and is at ringside with Ray Young and Corey Graves. They all talk about Raw Women's title. Sasha Banks is also backstage with Charlie Caruso. Banks talks about how she's never been handed anything, and she will make Ronda Rousey tap out. As they started off the Facebook thing, all the Hall of Famers were in the, panel. You had Jerry the King Lawler, Beth Phoenix, you had Booker T, and you even had Triple H. After a break, Michael Cole's on that ringside. I don't mind on that. Raw Women's title match was up next. Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey. We're going to ring. Out comes Sasha first. Cole's Hall introduces International Announce Team. All of them in the stadium now. Raw Women's Champions Rousey without next formal ring introductions from Mike Rome. Bell rings and they in the middle of the ring talking trash. Banks swings first, but Rousey arm drags her. Banks counters with a drag of her own. They trade counters again, and Rousey mocks Banks for a pop. Rousey yells out about how Banks said she can't wrestle. She'll show us that she can wrestle. Rousey hits suplexes like WWE Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero. The trifecta. As Banks counters the third one, they counter submissions. Banks gets up and smacks Rousey in the face. Rousey drops her with a kick. After 2 slaps to the face, sending her to the outside after a kick. Rousey follows and beats Banks against the LED board on the ring post. Banks ducks a shot and Rousey hits it. Rousey sells an injury on the outside. Banks runs the ropes and hits the suicide dive. Banks brings it back in for a 2 count. Banks keeps Rousey grounded. Banks still in control, hits a pair of double knees in the corner. Banks with a 2 count. Banks keeps Rousey grounded as fans do dueling chants. Rousey sends Banks into the corner, but she runs into a boot. Banks comes off the top, but Rousey moves. Rousey levels Banks with a running elbow for a 2 count. Banks with strikes in the middle of the ring. Banks drops Rousey by the arm and hits a running knee for another pin attempt. More back and forth between the two. Rousey powers up with Banks on her shoulders. Banks blocks Piper's Pit and catches Rousey in an armbar. Rousey fights and finally gets out. But Banks puts her in a bank statement. Rousey reaches for the bottom rope. The hold is finally broken. Rousey hits Piper's Pit. And Rousey continues to sell the arm injury. Rousey uses the ropes for a submission as the referee counts to 5. Banks clutches her arm. Rousey goes to the top, but Banks crotches her. Banks climbs up, but Rousey sends her to the mat. Banks comes back up with a knee to the face. Goes for a superplex and she nails it. Banks covers for a 2 count. Goes back to work on the arm. Keeps Rousey grounded. Powers up and slams Banks to the mat for a 2 count. Rousey slams Banks by her arm 3 straight times. Arm drags. Banks pulls Rousey down and kicks her out of the ring. Referee goes to check on Rousey. Banks runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive, but Rousey catches her. Rousey talks trash of her own and drops Banks into an armbar. Banks taps out, but they're out on the floor. Rousey brings it back in the ring. Rousey unloads with strikes. Banks fights back. Rousey backs Banks in the corner. Banks catches a kick and gets a knee. Rousey drops Banks with a big right hand for a 2 count. Rousey gets up first and goes for a gut-wrench slam, but Sasha blocks it. Banks sends Rousey face first to the turnbuckle. Banks with a double stomp to the arm. Banks goes for the backstabber, but Rousey slams her. Rousey goes for an armbar, but it's blocked. Banks counters and drops Rousey for a 2 count. Goes into the bank statement. In the middle of the ring, Rousey drags herself to the bottom rope for the escape. but Banks is using part of her attire to tighten the hole. Referee doesn't see it. Rousey gets to the ropes, but Banks pins her for a 2 count. Banks with a Fujiwara armbar in the middle of the ring. Rousey counters the hold and powers up with a gut red slam. Rousey rolls through and powers up with Banks on her shoulders. Rousey with another Piper's Pit for the pin to retain. After the match, Rousey recovers as the music plays. Go to replays. Rousey, while they're both on their knees, shows respect to Banks and helps her up. They have a few positive words as well as ring. Rousey holds the rope for Banks to make her exit. Rousey has her arm raised in the middle of the ring. Banks stops on the entranceway, takes it all in. She teases going back to the ring, but heads to the back. Rousey stops at ringside to kiss her husband, Travis Brown. Banks walks over and shakes Rousey's hand. They talk some more, and Banks puts up the 4 fingers to represent 4 horsemen, but it looked like she had a ring on, so I couldn't see the 4 up. She's the 4 horsemen for WrestleMania match. Banks walks off as Rousey stares at her. Rousey greets fans at ringside, stops on the entranceway again, and now she looks angry. Rousey continues greeting fans at ringside as we go to a break. Back for the break, while announcers show us highlights from the kickoff pre-show, we also see shots of Finn Balor backstage and Paul Heyman walking into Brock Lesnar's locker room. Looks like we're getting that next match, but we are headed into the first of the Rumble matches, 30 women. We go to ring. Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix is introduced by Mike Rome as a guest commentator. She's joined in by Raw announcers at ringside. Rome goes over the rules of the match. Lacey Evans is number 1. Evans takes the mic and says, "We will witness history tonight." She introduces herself and says she is the only one and only true lady of WWE. Evans says she's here to clean up the entire women's division. The music hits, and out comes Natalya in the number 2 spot. They face up. They face off and lock up. Run the rope, straight counters. Lacey falls, but gets right back up. They both go for drop kicks at the same time. They both skip up, and Natalya applauds her opponent. Evans shows Natalya and swings. Evans gets to sit to the apron, but she comes back in. Evans drops Natalya. More back and forth. Natalya with a hurricanrana and a lariat. Mandy Rose is out. Next is number 3. Evans drops Natalya again. Rose hits the rings and unloads on Natalya. Rose with a big knee to the face. Rose tries to dump Natalya over the top, but she hangs on. Nails Natalya with a lariat to Rose. Eva tries to attack Natalya, but Natalya drops her on her face. Every woman for herself. Natalya drops Rose onto Evans and drop kicks them both. Natalya goes for a double sharpshooter, and she applies it in the middle of the ring for a pop. Of course, there's no submissions or tap outs in the Rumble. It's all over the top. They both tap out, but it doesn't matter. Liv Morgan's out number 4. Liv charges, and Natalya immediately eliminates her. Evans and Rose double team Natalya now. Evans turns on Rose and launches herself into both opponents on the floor in the corner. Mickie James is out, number 5. Mickie and Natalya end up going at it. Mickie drops her with a kick. Rose decks Mickie. Rose hangs on, and Mickie tries dumping her. Mickie tries again, and Rose hangs on. Evans grabs Mickie, but Mickie hits a Thesz press and mounts her. Ember Moon was out next at number 6. Ember takes Mickie out. And Natalya with a crossbody. Not over the top. Rose grabs Moon and gets dropped. Evans charges, but Moon drops her. Moon drops Mickie again, then Rose in the corner. Moon tries to dump Rose now, but she hangs on. Mickie works on Moon. Rose works on Natalya. Evans assists her. The timer counts down. Number 7 entrant is Billie Kay. Natalya works on dumping Evans. Billie just stops at ringside, waits for her tag team partner to come in. But she rants to the announcers, and Rose tries to eliminate Moon. Mickie assists her. Moon drops Evans in the corner. Natalya drops Mickie and then Rose. Number 8 entrance is Nikki Cross. Cross stops at ringside and sends Billie into the barrier. Cross goes to the top and leaps down on the other entrance, taking them all down. Cross goes wild for a pop. Cross drops Natalia and Mickey. Then Evans. And Cross sends Evans out, but she hangs on. Cross drops Moon, splashes Mickey in the corner, and then nails a Bulldog. Rose grabs Cross and ragdolls her, takes out Cross, and checks on Billy. Iconics double team. Cross ounces. Both Iconics are in the ring. Mickey tries to eliminate Evans. Moon takes out Peyton. Billy stops Moon from trying to eliminate Peyton. The Iconics double team Moon. Rose tries to dump Cross. The next entrant is Tamina Snuka. Tamina runs in, but Mickey goes right to work on her. Snuka drops Mickey. Snuka with a Samoan drop to Moon. Then Royce. Snuka blocks a punch from Billy. Then nails a Samoan drop. Cross attacks Snuka, and they go at it. Cross sends Snuka to the floor, but she went through the ropes, not over. Snuka runs back in and super kicks Cross to the mat. Mickey sends Snuka to the apron. Evans fights Snuka, fights on Snuka now. Snuka goes to the top and hits a big superfly splash to Cross. Snuka and Mickey go at it. Mickey with a senton from the top. Evans and Natalia go at it. Number 10 entrant is Zia Lee. Snuka eliminates Mickey, which I didn't see it myself. Lee hits the ring, takes out Snuka. Then Natalia, Moon and Evans. Snuka and Lee go at it, with Lee getting an upper hand. Lee yells out and gets a pop. The next entrant is Sarah Logan. Logan goes after Natalia. Iconics eliminate Cross. Charlotte is the next entrant, and fans pop. Flair hits the ring, and everyone gangs up on her. Flair fights him off and takes turns delivering shots. Flair tosses Evans over her head. Flair backdrops Moon. Evans eliminates the Iconics, both of them. Lee goes at it with Flair. Lee hangs on to Evans, but Flair moves her off. Lee is eliminated. Flair and Snuka trade shots. Logan works on Evans in the corner. Snuka super kicks Flair. Next entrant is Kerry Sane. Flair eliminates Snuka. Sane leaps off the top and takes Logan down. Flair and Sane face off. Sane delivers huge chops and Flair wants more. Sane unloads on Flair. Flair just yells at her. Flair fires back with chops of her own, dropping Sane. Evans drops Flair from behind. Natalia works on Logan. Sane works on Logan. Sane goes to the top and hits the insane elbow on Logan. Sane tries to eliminate Logan. Natalia helps her. Logan is eliminated. Maria Kanellis is out at number 15. By the way, these are only 1 minute time frame in between each opponent, in both the women's and the men's. Flair and Evans face off. Maria gets in the middle and a brawl breaks out. Maria gets drops. Evans and Flair face off. Maria bulldogs both of them. Maria goes on and takes out Rose, then Moon. Flair hits a spear on Maria and then says she doesn't belong in this ring. Evans stops Flair from taking out Maria. Evans works on Flair in the corner. Naomi was out next at number 16. Moon charges, but Naomi drops her. Naomi goes at it with Rose. Rose sends Naomi to the apron, but she hangs on. My prediction, they were going to take each other out. Well, let's just see what happens. Naomi tries to bring Rose to the floor. Naomi eliminates Rose with a kick from the apron. Momentarily, Rose tries to eliminate Naomi with a powerbomb from the apron, but she hangs on and uses a barrier. Walking it to get to the steel steps. She jumps from the barrier to the steps for a pop. Rose knocks her off from the outside and eliminating Naomi. Rose stomps on Naomi, and the officials pull her away. Flair eliminates Evans. Candice LeRae was out next. Candice goes up top and hits a muscle drop kick to Moon. Candice works on Sane in the corner. Moon tosses Candice to the apron, but she hangs on. Candice with a jawbreaker to Moon. Natalia works on Flair. Candice with submissions to Moon. Maria works on Sane in the corner. Moon with a big gut buster to Candice. Flair and Natalia trade shots in the corner. The next entrant is Alicia Fox at number 18. Fox takes her time and dancing to the ring. Fox enters the ring and drop kicks Flair. Then Moon, then Sane. Maria tries to get Fox on her side. Fox says she has no friends. Maria pleads with her to team up on Sane. They double team Sane. Fox with a drop kick. Maria with a DDT to Sane. Fox and Maria then celebrate. But Maria turns on Fox and stomps her on her hat that's in the ring. Fox isn't happy. Fox hits Matt and beats on the floor with her feet. On the mat, that is. And the Italian Sane fight in the corner. Fox takes Maria to the corner. The next entrant is Casey Cantanzaro. Fox eliminates Maria. Cantanzaro hits the ring and takes Moon down. Natalia kicks her, but she counters and holds on in the corner. Casey with a takedown to Natalia from the top. Fox kicks Casey. Casey almost eliminates Fox, and then they trade shots some more. Fox with a backbreaker. Zelina Vega without that number 20 with a Street Fighter entrance gear. Vega enters and decks Sane. Vega faces off with LeRae in the middle of the ring. They shove each other and go at it. Flair works on Fox. Moon works on Natalia, and LeRae unloads on Vega in the corner. Sane works on Casey. The next entrant out is Ruby Riott. Out comes Liv and Logan, who have already been eliminated, and they are taking out opponents left and right. Flair stares them down. They try to pull Flair under the bottom rope, and they succeed. They beat Flair down on the outside. Ruby enters, and Vega spikes her into the mat. Logan and Morgan pull Fox out of the ring next. All under the ropes. Vega crawls under the ring, apparently to hide. Logan and Liv roll Fox back in. Ruby eliminates Fox legally. Liv and Logan hit Candice with a power bomb into the corner. Flair comes back in. Ruby eliminates Candice. Dana Brooke is out next. Dana with a big power bomb to Casey. Liv pulls Dana out, and they stomp away on her. Sane goes at it with Ruby. Ruby eliminates Sane. The Riot Squad triple team Sane on the floor. The next entrant is Shirai. Io Shirai. Shirai runs down and takes out the Riot Squad at ringside. All three of them saving Sane. Shirai goes to the top. Hits a big moonsault to the Riot Squad on the floor. Flair works on Dana. Goes at it with Ruby. Sane goes at it with Ruby. Shirai tries to eliminate her as they go to the apron. We see Vega watching from under the ring. Natalia and Moon trade shots in the corner. Moon takes Casey down. Of course, the referees don't see her under the ring. Next entrant is Rhea Ripley, number 24. Dana and Moon go at it now. Ripley rushes the ring and drops Moon. Then Ruby, then Shirai. Moon slams Ripley on her face. Dana levels Moon with a clothesline. Dana tries to dunk Casey. Dana kicks Casey out of the ring, but she's keeping her feet off the ground. Casey walks on her hands to the ring and crawls up to the ring post. Pole dancer style and back into the match. Casey leaps from the top, but Ripley catches her. They tangle and Ripley overpowers, eliminating Casey. Moon levels Ripley. The next entrant is number 25, Sonya Deville. Deville hits the ring and goes after Ripley, dropping her. Deville hits a spear on Moon. Ruby decks Deville. Deville takes her down. Deville with a big knee to Ruby. Deville unloads on Dana with knees. Deville stands tall, but Dana drops her with a shoulder. Dana with more offense. Ripley grabs Dana, but Dana drops her. Flair works on Casey in the corner. Dana with a more good offense on Ripley. Ripley eliminates Dana. Hornswoggle suddenly appears under the ring. He chases Zelina Vega over the announce table. Vega runs back in the ring. Ripley grabs her. Hornswoggle is in the ring as well. Ripley eliminated Vega. Hornswoggle chases Vega to the back. Next entrant is Alexa Bliss for a pop. But as Hornswoggle is just looking at Ripley, and Ripley just gives the eye like, okay, that just happened? Whatever. As Hornswoggle chases Vega to the back, next entrant is Alexa Bliss for her return to action. She gets a big pop and runs the ring and takes down Moon. Moon with a moonsault, knees from a standing position. As Flair goes at it with Bliss, Flair with a knee to the gut. DeVille works on Natalya in the corner. Flair tries to powerbomb Bliss, but she slides out and drops Flair instead. DeVille drops Bliss from behind. DeVille unloads on Bliss. Moon and Natalya try to dump Ripley. Bliss tries to knock DeVille off the apron, but Bliss eliminates DeVille. Bayley was out at number 27. Bayley rushes the ring and slams Bliss. Bayley unloads on Ruby. Flair on the others. Ruby with knees to Bayley in the corner. Bayley sends her to the ropes and hits a big knee. Bayley eliminates Ruby. As Bayley eliminated Ripley. Natalya and Bayley go at it. Flair works on Bliss. Moon works on Shirai. Next entrant is Lana at number 28. Lana is limping to the ring due to the bump from Rusev earlier, which I didn't see that part. And this is where her replacement is Becky Lynch later. Bliss and Natalya working on dumping Flair. Trainers are coming out to check on Lana, but she's unable to make it down the entranceway. Bliss works on Bayley. Moon tries to eliminate Shirai. Fans chant, "We want Becky." Flair works on Natalya. Next entrant is Nia Jax at number 29. Jax boots Lana to the ground and beats her up while the trainers were checking on her. Jax goes to the ring and clotheslines Natalya. Jax knocks Shirai in midair, takes turns driving with the others. Jax clotheslines Bliss. Shirai with a top rope moonsault to Jax, but Jax eliminated her. Natalya decks Jax, but Jax sends her to the corner. Natalya tries to dump Jax, but Jax eliminated Natalya. The last entrance is Carmella at number 30. Carmella drops Jax, then Moon. Jax levels Carmella. Becky Lynch comes out, talks to the producer, Finley. Apparently wanting Lana's spot. Fans pop for Becky. Becky gets the spot, and fans pop. And there's my prediction. Becky as the winner. Becky enters and faces off with Jax for another pop. Becky unloads on Jax with strikes. Flair grabs Becky and tosses her over, but Becky hangs on. Becky fights in and unloads on Flair. Jax tosses Becky to the apron, but she hangs on. Becky fights Flair and Jax off. Jax drops Flair. Becky leaps from the top, drop kicks Jax to the mat. Bliss drops Moon. Carmella works on Flair. Bliss and Moon trade shots. Now out on the apron, Bliss finally eliminates Moon, which is Moon was a prediction by my buddy Robert. Bliss taunted Moon from the apron. Bliss goes to work on Carmella, but now backfired. Bayley worked on Becky. Carmella with a buster to Bliss. Bayley hits Jax. Bliss and Carmella go at it. Carmella with a super kick. Bayley tries to eliminate Bliss, but hits a buckle bomb instead. Bayley scoots Bliss, and Carmella helps her. They eliminated Bliss. Jax levels Carmella and Bayley. Flair saves Jax from Becky. Bayley with a big elbow to drop to Jax. Flair with a big suplex to Bayley. Carmella counters Flair and drops her. Carmella goes to the top and hits crossbody. Flair rolls through and picks Carmella up, dropping her with a backbreaker. Flair goes to the top and kicks Carmella away. Carmella rocks Flair on the top. Carmella tries for a scissor to the mat, but Flair powers up and sends her to the apron. Carmella comes back in and mocks Flair. Flair eliminated Carmella. Bayley tried to dump Flair from behind, but she hangs on. Bayley drops Flair with a knee to the face. It's down to Flair, Bayley, Jax, and Becky. Flair kicks Jax while Bayley is on her shoulders, eliminating Bayley. Flair, Jax, and Becky trade looks. Fan chant for Becky. Flair decks Becky into the corner as she unloads. Jax flattens them both with a splash from behind. Flair and Jax have words. They go at it. Flair hangs on to the top rope. Flair with a big boot, then another big boot in the corner. Flair picks Jax up on her shoulders, apparently, but collapses to the mat. Becky's on the floor, and she rolled under the ring. But she was only knocked through the ropes. Flair scooped Jax again, sends her to the apron. Becky comes from behind and pulls Jax down, eliminating her. It's down to Flair and Lynch. Now the fans pop. Becky walks up the steps, but Jax kicks her back to the floor. Lynch lands bad on her knees. Official check on her. Jax makes her exit as the fans boo. Becky stumbles in the ring and tells Flair to fight her. Fans cheer Becky on as she hobbles to her feet. Talking trash, Flair immediately takes the knee out. Flair unloads on the knee now. Flair keeps control and stomps on Becky. Becky kicks Flair to the apron and tries to dump her, but Flair takes her leg out and comes back in. Flair tosses Lynch, but Becky manages to send Flair to the apron and they kick her off for the win. After the match, Lynch stumbles to her feet and celebrates as the music hits. Becky's going to WrestleMania 35. We go to replays and come back to Lynch pointing up at the WrestleMania 35 sign. But which champion is she going to go for? Back from the break, we get a promo for tonight's WWE title match. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. We got a ring out first comes AJ. Then Daniel was out next. Former ring instructions from Hamilton. The bell rings and they face off. They go to the corner and AJ beats Bryan down as the referee warns him. I had, on my feed, I had to keep refreshing. Thus missing about a minute or two in some of these matches. As they go back and forth early on in the match. AJ dropped Bryan with a shoulder and takes him back down, grounding him in the middle of the ring. AJ gets the upper hand and sends Bryan to the floor to regroup. I even tried different links on it, as they started the pay-per-view with only 3 links. Halfway through it, they ended up with 5 links. Bryan brings AJ to the corner, but AJ fights out. Bryan fights AJ to the opposite corner. AJ fights right back with strikes. AJ drops Bryan. Bryan charges to the corner but misses. Hitting into the turnbuckles, Bryan dumps AJ to the floor and hits the ring post on the way down. Bryan smirks as AJ clutches his arm on the outside while the referee counts. Bryan comes to the floor, sends AJ shoulder first at the ring post. Bryan brings it back into the ring, delivers a stiff kick to the arm. Bryan keeps AJ down, focusing on the arm. Bryan with a 2 count. Bryan keeps AJ grounded. AJ breaks the hold by getting his foot to the bottom rope. AJ gets up, rocks Bryan with strikes. AJ sunset flip for a 2 count. Bryan avoids a double underhook. AJ resists, but Bryan kicks him while they're down. AJ breaks it by getting to the bottom rope again. AJ looks for a comeback, hits a drop kick. AJ keeps control, hits a pump handle into a backbreaker. AJ with a suplex at the backbreaker for a 2 count. AJ pounds Bryan in the face while they're down. AJ goes for a solid slash, but is countered into a takedown for a pin attempt. They roll around the mat with pin attempts. AJ with a dragon screw leg whip. AJ with another leg whip. Bryan turns around with a drop toe hold in the turnbuckles. Bryan with more offense in the corner. Bryan counters and hits a dragon suplex for a 2 count. They tangle in their corner. AJ goes for a solid slash, but Bryan kicks him out to the floor. AJ makes it back in at a 6 count. Bryan gets it to the floor. AJ knees Bryan in the face from the apron. More back and forth from the floor. AJ jumps on the barrier, hits the moonsault into the reverse DDT on the floor. Referee counts him to get a replay. AJ brings it back in and springboards for the 450, but Bryan gets his knees up. Bryan tries for the label lock, and gets it locked in. Bryan yells at AJ to tap. AJ turns it into a 2 count. AJ applies the calf crusher as Bryan screams in pain. Bryan makes it to the bottom rope to break hold. Bryan drops AJ with an enziguri, then delivers a kick to AJ while AJ is on his knees. AJ ducks the roundhouse kick, but Bryan delivers another kick and connects with his injured arm. AJ rolls Bryan up for the calf crusher, but Bryan kicks him in the head for a close 2 count. Bryan holds AJ's arm and stomps away. Bryan goes to the top, but AJ rocks him. AJ climbs up and headbutts Bryan for a few times. AJ unloads with headbutts, then slides down, crosses AJ on the top. Bryan climbs up and goes for the super back suplex from the top, but AJ manages to land on his feet. AJ goes on and applies the calf crusher in the middle of the ring. AJ turns it into a 2 count. Bryan gets it. Bryan's knee goes out. The battle for a backside. Bryan unloads with elbows. AJ's elbows. AJ nails elbows. AJ breaks it and nails a brain buster for a 2 count. AJ rocks Bryan from the apron. Springboards up for the forearm on the forearm, but Bryan kicks his hands and AJ falls to the apron. Bryan gets hung up on the top rope. AJ springboards in, but Bryan kicks him out of the air. AJ drops Bryan with a Pele kick. Eric Rowan comes walking to the ring in street clothes. Rowan watches from ringside as AJ and Bryan go at it again. AJ blocks an enziguri and hits the Styles Clash. Referee is down now. Rowan comes in the ring, stopping AJ from making a pin. Helps, and Rowan palms AJ's head and chokeslams him to the mat. And then Bryan crawls over and covers AJ as the referee apparently wakes up and gets a pin on Bryan. Gets a pin on AJ as Bryan wins and retains the champion. After the match, Rowan looks on as Bryan recovers as his music hits. We go to replay. Rowan in his ring holds AJ while Bryan charges and drops him with a knee to the face. Bryan raises the title and Rowan raises Bryan's arm as music starts back up. Bryan and Rowan leave together. Could there be a new tag team? Or a new faction? A 3-way? Bludgeon Brothers are supposed to be making their return, but are they being their brother brothers? Or just wait and see. Back in the ring with your promo for tonight's Universal title match. Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. We go to the ring, and out first comes Balor. This was a disappointment match for me. I think it was BS. Because the details of this match, Brock was hurt. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar was out next. Of course, former ring introduction from Paul Heyman, as well as Mike Rome. Heyman cuts off Rome, does his own introductions. Okay. Balor unloads with punches in the corner as they are announcing Brock. Balor mounts more offense with Lesnar. Lesnar sends him to the apron. Balor but Balor kicks from the apron. Balor leaps in with a stomp to the stun Lesnar again. Balor more quick offense, drop kicking Lesnar back in the corner again. I kept saying Brock Lesnar's weakness is his stomach, as Finn kept on using and hitting him in the stomach. Lesnar catches Balor in midair, delivers a big belly-to-belly suplex, sending Balor out of the ring. Lesnar follows and rams Balor into the barrier, then the apron. Lesnar yanks Balor back out into the barrier by his leg. Lesnar with another big overhead throw on the floor. Lesnar takes to the top of the announce table as the referee counts. Heyman is in the background holding the title up. Lesnar looks to put Balor through the table, but Balor slides down and shoves Lesnar into the corner of the table. Balor drives Lesnar into the corner again. Lesnar comes back and rolls Balor back to the ring. And yes, it's the same announcer table on the outside of the ring, the middle one. Balor unloads on Lesnar as he comes back in. Lesnar launches Balor into the corner and goes down again. Lesnar with a big shoulder thrust in the corner now. Lesnar with another big belly throw. Suplex City. Lesnar with another thrust belly to belly across the ring. Balor catches Lesnar in the corner again. Balor nails a sling blade. Balor charges again, but Lesnar levels him with a clothesline. Lesnar sells an injury from the corner of the table earlier. Lesnar is having trouble staying up. Lesnar scoots Balor for the F5, but Balor counters a mid-move and turns it into a DDT for a close 2 count. Balor tosses away on the injured ribs. Lesnar rolls to the floor, and Balor kicks him back. Balor runs the ropes and leaps over the top, taking Lesnar down on the floor. Balor goes back in and runs the ropes again, nailing another big dive to Lesnar on the floor. Balor goes back into the ring for another dive, nailing the third one. Balor returns to the ring as Lesnar stumbles around the ring. Lesnar comes back in Balor drives boots to the face. Balor goes to the top, hits the coup de grace. Balor covers, but Lesnar kicks out. Lesnar is immediately goes into Camaro lot out of nowhere. Balor taps out for the finish. In the middle of the offense. I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to have time to finish off the Royal Rumble for the men's. That will start off my next video. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I be.